Unit 1, Lesson 1, The Conquest of the Air. For the teacher. Discuss with the children what people thought when they saw birds flying in the sky. Were they eager to see a machine flying in the sky like a bird? Now read the text. If you have ever flown a kite, you must have noticed that you get the kite up in the air by pulling it against the wind. When this is done, the pressure of the rushing air lifts the kite up in the air. The aeroplane is taken up in the air. In the same way, there is a propeller in the airplane, which is a kind of fan with two or more blades. The propeller is rotated by an engine. When the propeller rotates fast, it drives the airplane forward. The pressure of the rushing air against the wings lifts the airplane up in the air. It was George Cayley, a British scientist, who took the first step towards the innovation of the airplane. He invented the glider in 1804. A glider is a machine with big and broad wings like those of an airplane, but no engine. When it is pushed up into the air from a high point, it is held up by the pressure of the air against the wings. It does not fall to the ground but glides to the ground at some distance away. A man can hang on it when it is pushed off into the air. More experiments with the gliders went on. A German engineer, Otto Lilienthal, in 1891, built a new type of glider. It had wings which looked like the wings of a bat. This glider was made of wood and canvas. It had straps at the center for a person to hang on while it was in flight. Otto Lilienthal made thousands of flights up to 1,000 feet in the air in 5 years. Wright brothers of USA, Oliver and Wilbur Wright, heard of Otto Lilienthal's experiment with glider. They were also interested in this experiment. They carried on their studies further and made many experiments. Up to this time, petrol engine had been developed. In December 1903, they made their own flying machine. It was a plane with 2 wings, one above the other. The engine was placed right of the center on the lower wing. The pilot had to lie flat on his stomach to the left of the center to keep the machine in balance. In the morning, on 17 December 1903, this flying machine was ready to take the flight. A few people gathered to watch this great event. Oliver Wright climbed into the machine and lay on his stomach. The engine started and warmed it up. The Oliver made the machine run by pulling the wire. It was going forward on the ground. Wilbur Wright was running along with the machine for a few seconds, holding the wing. After moving forward for 40 feet, the machine lifted. But it was not a balanced flight. The wind pressed it sometime up, sometime down. After a flight of only 120 feet from the starting point, it landed. All thought it was a small flight, a flight of only 12 seconds, but it was an important event in the history of aviation. For the first time, such type of plane had gone up in the air carrying a man. But it was a slightly noticed event by the government. Wright brothers kept experimenting and made improvements in their plane in many ways. In 1905, their plane flew up in the air for more than half an hour, covering 25 miles. It was a moral booster for them. Later on, in 1908, Wright brothers decided to show their flight with their plane in France. To watch this flight, a large crowd gathered to cheer them up. This flight was also done successfully. After this flight, which was made in France, Wright brothers got a good fame. It opened the eyes of U.S. government. At the request of U.S. government, Oliver Wright flew the plane before some government officers, journalists, and a large crowd. All viewers exclaimed with joy and excitement when the plane left ground and went up in the air. After this, a new era was born. In a very short time, Aeroplanes were being built in almost every country in the West.